seconds remaining. Vega squadrons turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the StarLadder I-League Season 2 European Qualifier Finals. It is Vega Squadron taking on Virtus.Pro for a best-of-5. Winner of this series qualifies for the LAN final, and the loser, well, their journey will conclude here. It has been a hectic week of Dota, whether it be between, StarLadder, Summit 5, Pro Dota, Canada Cup. It has been all over the place. These teams have been just grinding their way through the qualifiers. We're coming just before the Manila Major, which everyone's going to be watching, but we got a few more Dota games to, give you that sweet little appetite. And it should be a doozy here. I'm Kyle Guy from Beyond the Summit. I'm going to be joined again remotely by my good buddy Trent, aka Modpax. Modpax, I'm back in the BTS offices. Buttons are all out in front of me. I think I've done everything right this time. How you doing today on this wonderful European final?
Oh, couldn't be more excited. Glad you got your techno wizard fingers all going over there.
Yeah.
Top-notch production value there. No overlays, guys. This is. Don't worry about this guy. He's
Keep
the
it
man.
basic, bitch.
Yeah.
Pretty much the motto for this one, and I'll try my best to make sure people aren't stuck in jail with anything like that. But so far, so good. We got to see Virtus.Pro yesterday. They looked really sharp. And obviously, for most people, mop packs are coming into this and they're giving Virtus.Pro a lot of shit with the situation that's been going down. Unfortunately, Virtus.Pro have been DQ'd and taken out of the Summit 5. FNM will be taking their place as they were runner-ups. Virtus.Pro, though, are not DQ'd, obviously, out of StarLadder. It's a separate tournament. And, well, frankly, there's no way for no one to be on the team when they're playing against them mop packs. So, be a good time, and I would love to hear the skinny on Vega because I haven't witnessed a whole lot of Vega play recently, Modpacks, but when you look over some of the recent success, you would think that they're probably one of the best teams on the block. I mean, they took down FNM 2-0 not once, but twice earlier in this qualifier.
Yeah, they've got some pretty interesting stuff going on. I would say maybe a little bit of Team Liquid inspiration, and a lot of their drafts, play styles, they tend to kind of mirror. And I mean, why wouldn't you, right? They've obviously been extremely successful lately. So looking into things like that, Lycan, one of the big hallmarks right now of Vega Squadron is the way they're drafting for their 2 supports, and you see that right away here too. Just first pick overall, they want to get that Phoenix. Lately, they've just been going for either Phoenix or Disruptor, basically every single game for Sioma, and if they can't get that, maybe they'll have to go back for something like the Winter Wyvern or the Lion, but those 2 supports are just the ones that they really want top-notch. But then for solo, like, this guy will play anything. He's been all over the map, and in the past, like, 10 games, he's on, like, 8 different heroes or something. Like, he does a Ricky support, they draft him an Axe one game, he'll go for the Venge, he'll play the Io, gets the Bounty Hunter, the Doom, the Night Stalker, the Abaddon. Like, when you have so much versatility there, you can grab this Phoenix or Disruptor so early on in the draft, and then as we progress, you can start to look towards, like, okay, now what do we need from solo? Like, is he going to be split pushing a lot, like we see him do all the time on his Lina or his Shadow Shaman, his Silencer too? I feel like he's just this really big X factor for them lately, where he can just kind of control whatever they need, be it that early game, be it that mid game, and pick on some sort of a support to fit for that.
Definitely has, like, the tricks of all the trades, and you said it perfectly. I mean, he has that capability of roaming around and being an aggressive, like, lane support, or if he needs to play the things more greedy and pull out some sort of jungling support at a moment's notice. They have that kind of flexibility to work with, and probably more the reason we'll be seeing solos pick usually reserved later, unless of course something like the Wisp slips through the first baiting phase, then they'll obviously grab that one up right away. But other than that, Vega kind of can dictate what they want to do with this draft. And as you already mentioned, Vega kind of fall in that liquid suit. They ban out the Lycan out of respect, even though the Beastmaster had already been taken off the table. They just kind of want to make sure there's going to be no face rush coming their way. I mean, when you're already sporting a Doom and a Lion, your anti-push isn't best thing ever. Eating one creep at a time is not really the most effective way of kind of preventing people from sieging your base, but nonetheless, just a lot of a frontal assault that they don't want to be dealing with, and there is the star of the show as far as supports go, Mopax, is the Disruptor. We were giggling about it a bit before the series, but sure enough, man, Disruptor has popped into the spotlight and works so well in this meta. You know, when you have a lot of these heavy, elusive spellcasters with Puck and Queen of Pain back in the scene, with Earth Spirit obviously still kind of being a top-tier support. It's so nice to have the glimpse. It's so nice to have that static storm control, and probably a support we'll be seeing a lot more of, especially going into the major.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It matches up really well against so many heroes that we're picking right now. Static Storm's great for those really big ultimates you want to avoid, especially like Ravage. The big one people what Disruptor, but it's great up against Doom too. You can't get that off. Yeah, well, next phase here, again, that Lycan Bandit too. One reason I really like that is I feel like when it comes to solo, he does want that space, right? He wants those earlier levels for the majority of the heroes that he's going to play, so tending to look for someone that can rotate into the jungle. And this is where we start to see, where's Alchemist coming out?
Oh boy.
The Alchemist, like, if it gets picked by VP, that's when you start to see things come out for the side of Vega Squadron where you want to rotate early into that jungle, be it the gyrocopter, right? Little bit of group up movement, go take care of those stacks. And that's still open up here in the pool. It's that and the Tinker that we talked about yesterday is another kind of big hero that's there. So I think both teams right now considering, like, all right, so like, what are we going to throw mid? How are we going to draft around that? And sort of counters are still left in the pool right now.
Yeah. Virtus.Pro will take the safe bet and just pick up their Yoku Tidehunter right now. So more of a melee bruiser to go along with the Doom. It obviously says now that the Doom is going to be in that 4 position, and you have team fight to work with now. But you know, though the Alchemist seems very tantalizing, we don't know Vega to be playing a whole lot of Alchemists here. I'm quickly just flashing through some of the recent games, and yeah, they don't pick it up too often. So I wonder if it's something Virtus.Pro are going to be considering creeping in here on the back end of the draft, because we'll even see Vega pull out the Ancient Apparition. I mean, solo AA was just something that the audience was having fun with back at ESL New York, and it's something I'm sure Vega could pull out if they do see it's fit. I mean, you're going against Scorched Earth, and if obviously Alchemist is involved, it might be enough to warrant it, but look at this, an early pullout of the Clinks here from Vega. You know, in a lot of the recent games, a Clinks, obviously when you need that heavy physical damage burst on a single target, Dire Side works great with the Roche, but normally picked up after a great setup like a Faceless Void. It is still something Vega could fall back on here, but we'll see. It is interesting to see the Clinks go earlier into this draft.
Yeah, it's nice. They already have the nice percent-based damage coming up from that Sunray, of course, as we all know and love. So Clinks will kind of be there to try and finish them all off. A little bit of space there too from just that Dragonite. He pairs up pretty well once you get up into your level 6 there for the Clinks. You can get your Soul Ring, start your rotating. DK can set up for like a Dragon Tail or something if you want to head mid, or then of course you'll mostly be roaming around that jungle.
Vega Squadrons.
So another Slark. Shadow Dance, okay. See how much pressure they get, and there is your Faceless Void. So you can kind of hold it, right? Because you're just like, well, I mean, it's not like VP are going to take it, so we'll just make sure they don't take our Clinks or something if we grab the Faces first, but excellently done. And
yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense now. It's like, oh, you got to get the Clinks first because, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't put it past Virtus.Pro to pick it as a deny pick if you commit with the Faceless Void first. I guess they're just playing it safe to make sure they get the both of them together, so it is something we've been seeing a lot of, more of a traditional lineup, a traditional synergy. It's obvious that Vega are kind of going with these lineups that just seem to be working so well, and a lot of these, it's something we've been seeing, whether it's a Vega, whether, as you mentioned, is a Liquid, or even OG we've been seeing pull out this similar kind of lineup many a time. Now it's on Virtus.Pro though to kind of have to deal with it here, deal with the lockdown, deal with that heavy physical burst, and with what they have left, they still need to get, of course, the G hero. And, you know, that was something I was talking about a bit yesterday, and just the trend we've been seeing from Virtus.Pro, they always love to hold out his hero to the end. And they certainly like to hold out until at least they see what he's going to be going up against here. And obviously it's the Dragon Knight.
Yeah,
so what is your best option?
Who else? Like, is there going to be that Bounty Hunter? Like, thankfully VPR the dead last pick, so Bounty Hunter and the Ricky are still in the pool.
True.
So depending on what Vega Squadron want to go for here, and they're already getting rid of one very aggressive hero in the Spirit Breaker. Don't want him charging on in, right? He can pretty much mess up any mid laner for the most part. Pairs up extremely well with that Dragon Knight. And I'm not sure what they're going to be giving over to solo here. Something that combos up well with the Chronosphere, of course, is generally what we're looking at. I know they've done the bounty with the Chrono before. It's not exactly the best synergy. You can get a little bit of track stuff going off, but his heroes in general aren't like, you know, he doesn't play those Witch Doctors or Crystal Mains or anything like that. Definitely more of the aggressive style heroes. But Ricky or Bounty could synergize pretty well with the Clinks for a little bit of like roaming combo early on.
Yeah, for sure. So I wonder if Vega are going to be banning out some sort of elusive mid laner that has an easy time getting away from early pressure or not. I mean, Puck and Quap are probably the two that stand out for being one of the more elusive heroes in the mid lane. Or you can go around down the road of being tanky, but you know they already have one of the tankiest mid laners in the game in the Dragon Knight. So we'll have to see. They opt for the Quap, so Virtus.Pro can pick up like a Puck, let's say, in hopes that if Vega do decide to grab up something like this Bounty Hunter or Ricky that's mentioned, she won't be under too much trouble of dying, but will obviously feel the pressure in the lane nonetheless. So we'll see.
This is like virtually if it was a Puck, wouldn't that be the exact same lineup as yesterday? I think. I know
would
our
not.
API's down.
I would not be surprised. It does look like it here.
I think it was, because we were talking about how like the Queen of Pain would have been the perfect pick to add on the damage for all that control.
Yeah.
And then, guys, I mean, he played it 3 times in the series versus Advenem, so can't be too surprised it's getting banned out here. Hey, the Solo Silencer, it's back, baby! Man, we haven't seen that in forever.
It's been a long time, and where is his place here and now? I guess it's a great follow-up. You'll see the jump in Tide Ravage, and you know a fight's going to begin. So as long as Silencer waits on the outside with that global ulti, you can totally disrupt any sort of follow-up. And frequently teams, oh Jesus, frequently teams would commit for a Silencer, even going against the likes of like a Faceless Void. So I guess they're trying to work with it in the same aspect. A very fun pick nonetheless, and as we know, one of the highest ceilings in the game for any sort of hero with that intel stacking. But Virtus.Pro, a G Broodmother in the mid lane. This is OG, like Dream League. They just pulled it out not that long ago. Like, I don't think it wasn't against Virtus.Pro, but against their neighbors in Navi. And Virtus.Pro are going to give it their own hand. Funky stuff.
Yeah. I also double checked. If it was the Puck, it would have been the exact same as yesterday. What a comfortable draft for them right now. Replace the Broodmother with a Puck. So very successful with that. Yeah, the mid Brood. This was something that was that thing out. Was it? I want to say. Oh geez. Oh no, it was LGD back in before Shanghai, during Shanghai. It was either way. It's for September. Guy was killing it. And randomly like bring out this mid Brood for him. He just like hops off his other role, heads mid with the Brood, and destroys anyone. Be it the Invoker was kind of the big one they were going after before, but you can imagine a Dragon Knight's not exactly going to be having the funnest time here. Not looking forward to his lane right now. Doesn't really have any sort of an assistance. You talk about what's Solo's role. Well, he's certainly not going to be helping out the mid lane too much. Like even if his presence is there, what can you really do against a Brood?
Yeah, not a lot of answers popping out to me here for the side of Vega as far as how they're going to be dealing with the Broodmother here, but we'll have to see if they have an answer that we haven't really thought of or not. I do want to check firstly to see what kind of sentry set they're going to have on hand, and that's the always tricky thing is like in this new meta, and especially from what we're seeing a lot of these teams, the early TPs, a lot of value on the warding games right at the start, blocking out camps when you're going against the likes of someone greedy or a Doom, let's say. But now you have to preserve some of these sentries for the Broodmother, and this is going to make a support's life very, very nerve-wracking in this game. So we'll have to see if Vega are going to have an answer to deal with the G Broodmother. An unorthodox pick for Virtus.Pro, something we've been seeing from a couple of teams as their back pocket pickup here already. And just game number 1 of our best of 5 for the StarLadder land. We'll have to see which team is going to be moving off to that land and which team will have to just wait it out for next season as we get underway.
Yeah, and I hadn't even looked at the items, but it looks like we're actually going newbie style with the Moo mid Tide Hunter. Going up against the DK. I mean, that's a fantastic matchup too, right? Like, it's certainly going to be favoring Yoku.
Oh, for sure.
Most part here should be able to pretty much dominate quite a bit of the CS and handle it, that bottle crowing. Unfortunately, they don't really have a support that could possibly snipe that bottle, so that'll be the big thing for no one just keeping that active. But again, he is just like, why not throw him into this off lane? Obviously, he's going to have a much better time than a Tide Hunter.
Oh.
It's going to be so difficult for them to contest him.
Yeah, Solo's there. He drops the sentry. He's like, hey, there is a spider here. Oh, there it is. And, knocks him up with the curse and will try his best to zone him back. But G's mission right now is just hang out close enough, get to that level 3, get that soul ring, and will start taking over in the jungle. And it looks like they're even going to bring in No Fear. It's kind of a roaming Doom. Drop down their own sentry, and eventually G will find it. And you know, that's unfortunately strike one for Vega right now. And Silencer is going to be sporting a secondary sentry, but you know, as mentioned before, it's one less sentry that they could use to kind of get control back in the rest of the map.
Yeah, the sentry wars. That's pretty much what we'll be looking at down here. Sioma gets a nice little slide pull off there. We'll have to be doing it, obviously. Don't want that Broodmother contesting up with the Doom, so trying to get a little bit of control here. Get as much farm early on as they can for FN. Playing not already had to take a point to the Skeleton Walk. Not exactly what you ever like really want as a Clinks, right? You love kind of holding on, getting that second point popped into Strafe at some point to try and go for a kill, but
yeah,
in a dangerous situation in this lane with No Fear always down here and already having the Tornado just for the aura for now, I'm sure. He'll have to grab something else up if he doesn't want to use up his entire mana pool.
I mean, there is a convenient satyr right there, if that's something he would fancy himself. We'll see if it is something he opts to go for. But still a very awkward situation for Vega down here now. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be much threats to G coming anytime soon, as Sayoma will continue to just kind of work with the side pull camps and find some solo XP on that front. 2-minute rune is going to be coming out. Solo tries to kind of harass No Fear a bit. And between both supports, I don't think they're going to have much of an answer to stop the Doom. So No Fear picks up that rune, and that will leave the bounty for Yoku at the top. So these lanes both going nicely for Virtus.Pro. But let's touch base on what's happening at the top of the map right now. Mag on his Faceless Void, 7-0, matching up against Aloha's Slark, highest CS farmer in the game. And of course, FNG on his prize Lion, continuing to kind of batter him up a bit. Just feels like Virtus.Pro did a nice job building together this funky draft and then putting it in a beautiful laning setup so that they can get the best success.
Yeah, Mag should have a relatively okay time. Have to be very cautious whenever Aloha Dance and FG are very close together like this, because we all know that big kind of lockdown from the line straight at a time, very difficult to get your time walk off. But like when it comes to the pounce and the leash, you can just time walk right out of the leash. So he has to play a little bit of a game of like, okay, FNG's alone, I'm gonna trade hits with you. And okay, Aloha Dance is alone, I don't care if I get pounced on right now, but he doesn't have any source of vision up here. So you can see he's just like trying to play through the trees and everything like that. Very difficult.
Yeah, and you know, right now he's under a lot of pressure, but obviously will have that time walk to get some of that life back and make it away from trouble. With the benefit of the poor man's shield. Bottom lane is the first blood, actually. I was catching the back end of that. FN able to kind of get the jump on G, and they will take him down. This Clinks does deceptively strong damage. I mean, he only holds a Wraith Band, for God's sakes, but, you know, just with 2 points into Searing Arrows with that 40 bonus damage, they are going to kind of shred the Spider a bit. And, you know, with the first dust flying out here from the Phoenix, they make it successful, and it's going to be Vega who strike first.
Yeah, they got the dust down here. They got another round of sentries stocked up here on top of Solo. No quarter over here to G. Don't want him getting out of control. Certainly the way we expect teams to handle the Broodmother. So we'll see, like, how much space though.
Oh, Mag might be in trouble this time. Oh,
that Fairy Fire.
He is going to be fine. Yeah, that Fairy Fire keeps him alive. He needed 4 seconds for the walk, but god damn it, bottom lane! Right at the same moment once again. Every time there's a jump on Mag, there's a jump at bottom, and they will get the No Fear Doom down. So a lane that we thought would be a bit of a struggle for Vega, they already lead out 2-0.
Yeah, the benefit, like, maybe the Dragonet's not going to have the most fantastic time. He's 6 CS behind mid. It's not a big deal, but he doesn't need help at the very least, right? It's still kind of a no-kill lane. It's just all about punching creeps, meaning they can commit 3 heroes down here. Same thing with the Faceless Void, where he's not at a major risk of dying, and if he does, these supports aren't really going to make a difference in that. They're just committing 3 full heroes, shutting down the Brood and the Doom at the same time, and they're actually going to have to bring FNG down here, but going to benefit them quite a bit for VP just because we're going to get that solo experience onto Aloha Dance. He hasn't bought anything yet. I don't see anything on the courier either, so he's just fully going into the treads, not worrying about the Midas or anything like that, and maybe we just go straight for that Shadow Blade.
We'll see we get back underway. FNG is here now, moves in for FN. They're looking for a kill response, and my god, they'll get it. Quick, easy, hefty burst damage on the frail little man of bones. And Virtus.Pro will be able to get themselves a kill on the board. We'll see if FNG kind of decides to hang around here quite a bit or not. This does open things up a bit easier for Mag in the top lane, so he can rush his way towards that first Chronosphere. And, you know, I suppose when you have a Silencer and Clinks on your team, they can both hit pretty hard. Right now, they're looking to kind of use some of that muscle power onto G. Beam coming out, some right-click damage. No commitment for any extra detection, but they'll soften him up a bit.
It's kind of funny in the mid lane. No one is just like bottle crowing back and forth and these infused raindrops, but every once in a while, no one will just give them the breathe fire to burn them away. Won't even end up lasting that long. Maybe not the most value purchase. I don't any supports coming in from the Radiant side to try and go after Yoku, but Dire supports get active on solo.
Yep, bottom lane, they're going to catch out the Silencer on his way out, and between the two of them, they might have enough to bring him down. It looks like they will. Elma tries his best to help out with that Sun Ray, but it's not going to be good enough. Virtus.Pro will even the game. Now 2-2. And as you mentioned, yeah, I mean, Yoko, he's got his teardrops, but they might as well be the tears of this Dragon Knight. I mean, he is 41-2 now CS. Grossly farmed. He's got Arcanes, now complete. His Ravage is locked and loaded and ready. I'm curious to see if they're going to just leave him here in the mid lane to continue to just kind of contest the DK and find as much as he can for himself, or if they want to begin to put these ultis to use. Virtus.Pro have time to work with their lineup for now, so I suppose it's not something they're going to get too proactive about at the moment.
Yeah, with all the farm he's getting, I think I'd like to see just mech straight up, just grab that thing, and then potentially into the Blink Dagger if they want to start roaming as like a 4 group and let the Broodmother do her thing, right? Give G a little bit of room inside that Radiant jungle. Yeah. But if they could just group up as 5 down bottom first and use that first Ravage, even if it's pre-mech, way to try and crack open the jungle for G, right? And yeah, Broodmother, she can power on her own, but it's going to be a lot longer than rotating down a bunch of heroes. And we all know that, like let's say Mag pops a Chrono early, trying to survive or save himself. Need that moment where you just, the entirety of VP just head down on him, because that's the only big threat right now.
Yeah, and kind of like in the same aspect of the Ravage, I don't know if I see them really putting that ultimate use right now or not. Could see a pretty quiet game in the meantime until level 6s really all come together, and that's when the fireworks will really begin to fly. I mean, even something like the benefit of the curse, but top lane, they're going to make a jump for Mag, and they will take him down. A good pounce and a good set of lockdown between FNG and Aloha Dance. But once FNG is able to kind of throw these levels together and has the Hex and has that higher level in the stun to work with, the options for Faceless Void making it away don't become as apparent. And now FN, he is hanging around under a Virtus.Pro Sentry. FNG is not trying to reveal anything, but it looks like FN will kind of take his business elsewhere.
Yeah, pretty hard to get that kill as a Clinks. Up against someone like that line. He always got 3 points on that spike, so 2 full seconds for Slark to get over there and capitalize on top of that. Don't think I'd want to tango with that.
No. Bottom lane, though. Ooh. Looked like they're about to make an assault on the solo, but at that same moment, a response is going to be coming out. No one has shown up. Pops the dragon form, pops his haste, gets the dragon tail on the no fear, and it looks like they will be able to scorch him down. Though look at this, Sayoma in a lot of trouble. Get the Broodlings, and they will get it. 10 life left. Fiery Bird is going to be able to fly away, but top lane, Mag gets that Chrono, and they're going to get the response kill, taking not 1, but 2 lives with power of the FN. Searing arrows, double kill for him, and 3 from Virtus.Pro go down across the board.
Wow, even knowing FN was up there, but really, what can you do? It's just going to happen if you want to stay in lane and keep farming, so no other rotations come through. Obviously, the bottom lane was a little bit busy at the time, so it's kind of understandable. Very nice pickup for the side of Vega. See what he ends up going into. Could just be that straight Deso. Like, quite a bit of early farm here, leading the net worth chart here for Ben.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I guess it depends how much he feels like he's personally threatened in this game or not. And I would imagine he might just decide to go for the hefty burst of damage. Maybe be a Roche contender in this game. We'll have to see. Virtus.Pro, we're thinking about eyeball in the mid lane for a gank attempt, but it looks like they've changed course. They've smoked up now, and they're looking to head behind Mag here. Mag kind of skittish about his laning position, but it looks like they are going to be able to get the catch and lead him with a Hex, with a stun, with a finger. It's all FNG on this one, and he will secure the kill for himself. Mag goes down, and with 50 seconds to go on the Chrono, he really didn't have a say in the matter.
Remember when Faceless Void used to backtrack those? Those were the days.
RNG could have kept him alive there back in the day. Bottom lane, though, they're making to go for G. Hard commitment, he goes for the TP and he makes it out. Wow, he barely makes it out. With that bird at the end, it looked like he was brought down at one point to about 30 or 40 life. But good heads-up TP play. No additional lockdown will be there for Vega, and he will make it out.
And it brings 4 heroes down to the bottom lane. A little bit more space to Yoku, but this will of course turn into a push here for the side of Vega. They have the Arcane Rune, plus the Elder Dragon form. What a fantastic time to be pushing a tower and do that cooldown. Mighty heftily.
Very nicely done. 80 seconds now for the new cooldown of this dragon form, and as mentioned, they will quickly make a siege for it. All the rest of Virtus.Pro still kind of standing, planting, and farming here. Yoku has not deterred too far from this mid lane, but can you really blame him? He's just about have his Blink Dagger and 100 gold. And second highest CS in the game for his Tide. Vega looking to kind of make up for the awkward laning stage by taking more objectives now. Pushing in now for this tier 2. We'll see some rotations coming out from Virtus.Pro here. FNG has shown up. Finger is still going to be on cooldown.
Where is Yoku? Like, he's so the X factor of this. They just don't have any fear. They're just slowly kind of grouping, you know? Once they see him, they can't spot him right now, though, of course, so they'll back away. And he does have that early Blink Dagger, so something looking to put that Ravage to good use.
Yeah, Vega even committing a scan to see if the rotations were going to be there, and they were right. Not really anything that they're going to be able to do about that moment, but kind of assures that they made the right call pulling out from that lane and seeing that the rotations were going to be coming. And as you were alluding to, once Yoku kind of goes missing off the radar and with a Ravage good to go, probably a safe bet to get the hell out of there while you can. So Vega get the most out of it, pull off now and reset, and get back into the grind of farm here. It looks like already an early Mithril Hammer on the Clinks, so a Deso seems to be the likely option for him. And then on the other side, we have Noah with his armlet. Bottom below, as mentioned, Sayoma will be able to Icarus Diamond away, but FNG's got the speed with those Tranquils. They got the global silence, a defensive one as a response. And oh, hi, how you doing, Solo? There's a Doom for you. And that could be the end of the fight right there. I don't know if that was necessary or not, but Virtus.Pro will use it to get away from any potential danger.
Oh, I think that's actually... Oh, well, mid lane they're going to use that blade.
Yep, okay. No one tries to make it out, but he is going to be configured. Even a Ravage for him. Serious hate onto the Dragon Knight right there. We'll even the game up now 5-5. Virtus.Pro will be looking to follow this one up with a mid lane push, but we got Broodmother things happening here at the same moment, Moppax. Haven't been able to see much of it, but now with attention kind of being pulled away from the bottom lane, this is where the Broodmother really starts to creep on you.
Yeah, I actually feel like the last 2 minutes of Vega just got totally nullified. Like 2.5 minutes where they had that Arcane Rune and they got the tower, because the whole plan... Tower, it's so typically we talk about it and that tier 1 on the offlane Dire as being a Roche tower and how it's so important for how that's going to control it for your team and how you can always contest Roche because of it. But in a game like this, like, they immediately destroy it, they put down that ward, and we saw them immediately start putting damage on that tier 2 because this tower right now, this whole lane is just information about how close is Brood, taking our tower, and then getting that, you know, loved control over the whole jungle. It's all a Brood really wants in life. And I feel like they had such a good setup going. They had the ward down, they'd all backed away, the Chronosphere was back online, the Global was back online, we had our Phoenix getting up into that level 6, and I think they were ready to contest that tower. They wanted Global, they wanted Chrono, and they wanted to hold this jungle for as long as they could, but because of the defensive Global, because of the nice smoke plays there by VP, they just kind of totally rooted out that plan. But now G's just starting to do Broodmother things.
Well, if Vega do want to kind of get their stake back in this game, the best chance would probably be now. I mean, with those heavy ultis now committed, the Doom used on the Silencer, the Ravage now in the mid lane for the Dragon Knight, if Vega want to be playing around these cooldowns, now is the time. Chrono back up and ready to go. The Egg is online for Sayoma. We'll see if Vega can at least get a fight coming their way. It looks like they'll try their best by pushing down this mid lane, going for the tier 1. But Virtus.Pro may have other plans just by kind of splitting up the pressure. And G is going to start creeping in for the tier 2 in the bottom. Is going to force somebody back to deal with it. It looks like it's going to be Solo mid lane. Aloha Dance trying to be a bit creepy here. Shows himself behind for Sayoma. As this happens, bottom lane, they make their committed jump for Solo, who is, well, Solo. He's all alone and away from his team, so the two of them will easily be able to bring down him, and this is bad. This is supposed to be Vega's time to shine right now, and Virtus.Pro, actually, the team's still continuing to find pick-off plays.
Yeah, and that's already going to be our Orchid done for G. A little bit more of an old-school Brood build. Lately, we've been seeing some Echo Sabers, some BKBs has been one that I've seen for the most part. But can't really argue with this up against the squad of Vega. Pretty heroes, some great silence targets coming out. Phoenix as well. It's just even trying to stop Solo, of course, with the off Global.
Uh-oh. Looks like they've seen no one. FNG leads things off with some good lockdown. Samuel will try his damnness to heal him up with the Ray. He's still alive and well, but not even the Dragon's Blade is going to be enough. Egg pop, but it is obviously going to crack. FN does show up. He tries to go for a pick, but he gets doomed, and he gets it turned on. Oh, man. 3 kills for Virtus.Pro, and would you believe it? All 3 go to Aloha Dance. This has gone from bad to worse, and it is not going to get better, Mod Packs. They lose solo 2. 4 go down. Look at all the items now coming in for Virtus.Pro. That's a mech done. That's a drums done. Oh, man. If there's an X factor for Vega, it needs to show itself now.
Yeah, it's gotta be close. It's the burden is fully on Mag here, and it's not gonna be very easy for him. But what else do they really have, right? We gotta see the Sunray and the Egg and the Chrono all come together. We've been seeing this Phoenix and Faceless Void combination in a couple games. Just drop Chrono right on top of the Egg. Guarantee that stun's gonna go off. Turn yourself into some sort of a wombo combo. Throwing that up with the Global Silence. It's there, right? But Mechanism now done for Yoku, as you'd mentioned, and he can get into those Greaves, and then Global Silence is going to be useless against him.
Yep, and now they have a Ravage, so it's actually Virtus.Pro's best point to make a fight. Yeah, they don't have the Doom, it was committed in the last fight, but feel it. Vega are like, we got to do something. They come together as 5. They might even smoke here or something, but they need Mag, as mentioned, to get this big Chrono off. And look at Virtus.Pro. They're in a wonderful position with a wonderful ward, and just when Vega thinks they're going to be able to move it and make it go, Yoku jumps in with a wonderful Ravage. They get Mag with the finger. The Global Silence will be there, but the damage, Mod Packs, it has been done. No fear with the double kill. He might be going down here at the end. Sailma tries to get him with a couple of last right clicks. No one, though, gets his own double kill, but again, still looking outnumbered a bit. Virtus.Pro are going to be able to get their own response. FN, one of the last soldiers for Vega in this fight, is trying to move his way for G on this one, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get G. He's like, hiding on the trees, avoiding the trouble. Very sneaky, and he is out of there. The dust settles. It turns into a 3 for 3. But they will get that DK down. I don't know. With the Aloha Dance dropping in that one, do you think it's good enough for Vega?
I guess maybe you'll take any even trade at this point, especially because they didn't even get off Chrono. You could see the focus coming out from VP. Like, FNG tanked a Dragon Tail there because he was just walking past the Dragon Knight trying to make sure he'd get all the stuns he could off on top of Mag, but they ended up getting dead. And so, despite the Global Silence, still not enough space for Mag to try and get off that Chrono. And immediately they're just going to smoke up. They're like, we got to use this damn thing. Like, 130-second cooldown right now. He's almost up into that 115, and he hits level 11. But every single one of these Chronos now is your momentum gainer. It's the only thing that they have going.
Looks like they might find no fear. If they want to commit a Chrono for this, it might be okay, but not really ideal. While this happens, though, they are going to be losing the silencer. Aloha Dance gets the
they found Yoku up top too.
Top lane as they go for Yoku. Just TP's out. No more Dragon Tail. And without any additional lockdown nearby, he escapes trouble. And that frickin' Arachnid, man, back at bottom lane, takes the tier 2. The rest of Virtus.Pro mid lane, pushing there. You know, it's still while Vega feel like they're trying to, you know, take one step. Virtus.Pro already 4 steps ahead of them.
I feel like this is what we saw VP do yesterday too, just constantly pulling their opponents across the map, like always making these good decisions when it comes to where they want to focus, where they want to apply some pressure, always being in the right situation. We talked about it a lot yesterday too, where they always seem to be in the perfect spot for a team fight, like on top of this hill today. We had that great fight over here by the Seek Shop yesterday. It seems like they're just always reading their opponents and making sure that they're fully set up for how they know Vega need to initiate and kill them.
Radiant's middle tower has been
And with another swift fight here from Virtus.Pro, they could be going into high ground territory soon enough. Man, they spot FN. They just hit him with a Doom right away. Aloha Dance will be there for the follow-up damage. And G gets a beautiful Earthspike setup. Yoku as a carry on top does the Ravage, and they're looking to just bulldoze their way into the Vega base. It looks like they'll do it. They drop down for a finger, and it's going to be a 5-man wipe. Virtus.Pro will lose nobody. And it's now quickly 8-19. It looks like game number 1 with the taunts coming out from Yoku is going to be all Virtus.Pro.
And FNG is just like been on fire. That Earthspike coming in with the Faceless Void. That Chrono won't get off. I mean, it would have been defensive anyway. I'm not sure they could even turned any kills, but VP not giving them anything. First set of racks, the bottom lane, sure to go down here, at very least the melee. That's all they really need. follow shortly. They can get back for Roche if they'd like and play it a little bit more cautiously. Not that they've really been doing that this game. Just, you know, bull rushing them face first, but it's been working out for them.
Absolutely, and now I don't even see any reason to not, you know, deter to any other game plan. You're even richer than you were before. They're sporting over a 10k net worth and XP advantage. The items they're going to be picking up now are going to be even more godly than they were in the last fight. You get so much money for taking those racks, and I don't know. It is dire straits right now for Vega. This feels like your all or nothing smoke play. For God's sakes, let's see a
It's
Chrono.
like the third all or nothing smoke play.
Yeah,
with
right?
Chrono.
It's like, for God's sakes, we got to make this work. They are beelining it for the Roche pit. They'll see no one from Vega or for Virtus.Pro here, and they're like, you know what, guys? Maybe we can take it ourselves. And they might get away with this. They have the damage potential, and it looks like they will. A ping is there now, though.
Pinging.
Oh, FNG is nearby. But will Virtus.Pro be there with an answer? There's no Ravage. But there they're going to make their move. FNG leads and gets the stun for Solo, but the Aegis will go into the pocket of Clanks.
Yeah,
They
still
could
a
get their
dangerous
first win, but yeah, they could still be losing some backliners here. They're trying their best to save Solo, but ooh, I was going to say, if he gets too far behind, they might just have to let that man go, but Virtus.Pro.
Oh, this is a good play. They're smoking up. They saw the Clinks move. The Observer and the Sentries, they were hoping to catch him with the dust
yeah.
that they popped.
Not happening, though. And they will be a little short in being able to catch up with FN. But for Vega now, I mean, hey, it's the only positive that's really been going for him in this game. They get the Aegis now. I don't know if one Aegis, one extra life, it doesn't mean that it will just turn a 5-man wipe into a 6-man wipe mop packs at this point in the game. So we'll have to see. It requires some straight shooting execution here from Vega to be able to get a huge chrono catch. But I don't even know if the damage is going to be enough. Doom already.
Oh, that's a Doom.
No one is just going to be out of this. Goes down, 50 seconds, no buyback. Any reason why Virtus.Pro shouldn't just kind of gung-ho for the Vega base again?
No, I don't think so. I think they're fully ready to commit this thing in there. On up. Yeah, there's Chrono, yeah, there's Global, but we have the counterplay. We got Yoku with his Ravage, right? He can just lurk up on the high ground if he wants. He can lurk back here if he wants, and then just press Guardian Greaves, blink, Ravage, G.
You know. As he heads with his team to the bottom lane, which has already been cleared out. Maybe Virtus.Pro are just trying to get the creep back inside and go for an opportunity at the jugular. They have allowed enough time, though, for the DK to make his return. So we'll see if Virtus.Pro still feel confident about making a push happen here, or with the return of DK, might find better options in farming up and just waiting for their opportune moment. Maybe they even stall out and just wait for the Aegis to go down, just to make things as easy as possible for the Dire.
Yeah, they got a good thing done, too. They got Warden and Sentry up on the high ground here. So this will really help when the push does come. DK's back up, so just take a breather for a second because we've got items coming. Yoku now even more scary. That Force Staff. We get the gem done. Rather terrifying. The only thing they got going for them on the side of Vega is they do have that BKB up for FN. Got his Aegis as well, so you're hoping that maybe with this crazy amount of burst damage, he'll bring somebody down through 2 lives, but they're all just like so tanky. Yeah, he might get F and G, but everyone else is rocking some serious HP. The BKB now done as well here for our Broodmother on G. Easiest of targets for him.
Yeah, we even have a gem now handed off to Aloha Dance here, so the Slark is now walking radar with the benefit of his passive, and with all this map vision going to be restricted, we could see Vega just quickly confined into the grounds of their own base. And when you're stuck inside your base, you know you ain't getting farm anywhere, and that's where things could begin to cap significant for Vega. And for Virtus.Pro, no sort of cheeky, creepy play is going to be coming out with that gem either, so I don't know. We'll have to see how Vega's high ground defense is going to be in this one. I mean, we know they have Chrono, we know they have Global and all this stuff, but as you talked about, I mean, as long as Virtus.Pro just play their cards right, keep someone like Yoku in the back lines with his Greaves ready to go, they'll always have the better say in their team fight.
Yeah, the other thing is they just get like one lane permanently pushed in for free because they have a Broodmother. He's just like non-stop going to be dealing with always pressured, and then you can just doing your little bit of split push plays, everything that they have for this wombo combo. The way wombo combo works is it kills everyone at once, but of course that does require that all the heroes are going to be there from VP, but if they want to be doing a little bit of split push plays, it could just be like spiders in the mid and 4 heroes up top. Fully commit to actually killing both groups, and we know fast G can push. Oh, that Earthspike on top on Mag. Look how fast he goes down.
They saw FN passing by earlier with that gem on Aloha Dance, but once they saw him get out of range, they knew Mag was going to be by himself long enough that they could get the quick burst. Now they're looking for the follow-up play. FN just casually farming those neutrals on the side camp, even though he knew there was trouble in this top lane just moments earlier. Man, he gets lucky, it looks like, though, and could avoid losing that Aegis here outside the base, but Aloha Dance just full blood rage right now, trying to get it. Will not be able to get the grab. FN just barely escapes away with his life. A lot of credit, of course, going to Sayoma with that Ray.
Yeah, a little bit of Sun Ray plays. Okay, so we get the saves. Nicely done, nicely done. He's just doing his thing down here. Spider army sitting on top. No one's been out here just trying to pressure and push his time. I don't think anyone else can capitalize on this. It's relatively deep here.
You know, if it was an Ember Spirit instead of the Clinks, you could have hopes of just stalling and farming up those Spiderlings in hopes that you could just kind of, you know, eventually be the king of this game. But when you're putting everything on the back of like a Clinks, I don't know, you just don't feel as confident at that point. But he's trying his damnedest here to farm up this FM. BKB had already been done, and he's got about 1,600 gold farmed up, but I imagine the timer on that Aegis is ticking away. And once it does fully expire, Virtus.Pro are going to be coming a knocking, and they will have better items than what you were trying to accumulate for yourself. They've had the majority of this map to work with. You know, G pretty much on the whole southern hemisphere, and then the rest of Virtus.Pro lurking between the mid and top lane.
And now they can do nothing but wait. I mean, when you look at the graph, it's only been slightly being to the lead of VP, which is relatively impressive from that of Vega. Like, they are getting a lot of farm done right now, considering how hemmed in they truly are. See a little bit of a blink dagger here from G just to keep up his split push plays and make sure he can get that Orchid on the prime target, who we can all imagine will be Meg. 0 defensive items, no way for him to dispel it. No allies that can do it either, so it's just kind of stuck with what he gets. Aloha Dance gonna find out, said Mag.
They were actually rushing to find FN from that mid lane, but they conveniently find Mag instead.
Yeah,
oh my god, yeah, they just popped the Ravage, and they know that if they can get this Void out of the game, he will be forced into buyback here to defend. Yes, they'll have that Chrono ready to go, but I think Virtus.Pro are here just to force him to kind of spend some money.
Yeah, creeps in the bottom, so they can just head up to the mid. No fear can tank, because he's a Doom.
And he has that Doom good to go. Solo waits behind with Global Silence in his pocket here. Virtus.Pro begin their siege. 20 seconds for Mag. Vega could be risking an exposed Rax here, a second set of Rax in jeopardy of going down if they don't do anything about it. They pop the stun, and some heavy hitting damage on Yoku will only get him down to about half of his life, but nothing too scary at this point. Obviously the Aegis has expired by now, and so he has replaced it with the Crystallis, so opting for just some heavy deeps. And, you know, for Virtus.Pro, not able to kind of make enough of a push happen to force out the buyback of Mag. They'll reset a bit, and I imagine just kind of pull out their next round push here very soon.
Yeah, they got plenty of damage on the tower too, so they can start farming into some other items. It'll be the Basher first here for Aloha Dance. Like, they're considering Rosh because we're so close to that anyway. Only a minute until we can find out just how far into those 3 minutes we'll be seeing the Roshan. And again, just totally controlling the map, getting all the farm that they'd like. Yoku's just like Radiant side Ancients. Doesn't matter at this point. Highly unlikely they're going to make any sort of a smoke play outside that map. This is the Radiant map. This is like their mini map only goes this far.
Yep.
Green. Yeah, pretty much it.
You know, as expected, once that gem kind of came online and StarLadder is kind of rummaging around from lane to lane as he is right now, there really is no available vision that Vega are going to get. And they could starve him out, farm, and starve out Vega until they know they can take the one fight to rule them all and make sure that they are just going to be more heavily armed. But Vega are not going to be going down without a fight here. It's just game number 1 of this best of 5. Virtus.Pro will have their work cut out for them if they want to kind of siege and close this one out. Whether it be, you know, on the back of some cheeky Broodmother picks or not. No, Vega are not going to make this one easy.
Oh, is it going to be another pick bottom?
Maybe. FN
Where's
will be
Global?
hit up, but Global going to be used defensively to respond. Virtus.Pro could see this, try to reset. Fenji will get healed up from the Greaves of Yoku, and that'll be the end of it. He begins his, slow spider assault through the top lane here. Try to finish off that tier 3 in the mid lane. But now Global's down. So a big tool Vega are not going to have for defense here. Vega just kind of stuck more in the run at this point. We'll see. Virtus.Pro, though, doing the torturous way of pushing. G all the way at the top while they continue their siege at the bottom.
Yeah, one puzzle piece down. Now they can handle out this chrono and this smoke, or rather this this egg. But they're smoked up here from the side of Vega. They're looking for something.
I think it just might be, I don't know if it's in hopes that Vega or Virtus.Pro are going to be pushing in and then they could just kind of remain in the dark. But if they're hoping to kind of maybe get the grab on G, they are going to need a lot more than just one casual smoke inside the base to get it done. And as you mentioned before, Virtus.Pro probably going to continue to play things a bit safer. Go back for the Roche, wait for it to pop up. Dead ages before they do make their move in. Blink Dagger will be done now for the DK. Maybe if they do manage to catch Virtus.Pro out of position, he could be there that much faster to get the insta-stun. And for Slark, it looks like his build-up for the Abyssal Blade has begun with that Vanguard now being complete. So, it's nice for this DK and this Clinks to have those BKBs to avoid trouble, but now you're going to have a Slark with that extra lockdown factor. You got to be careful.
Yeah, again, it really does start to look like they just don't have the heroes right now for that eventual comeback, right? Like, Flanks and the Wombo combo, sure, they get stuff done for you, but right now the cooldown for those are still going to be almost 2 full minutes. Wow, that was a very loud curse you.
Yeah, he threw it in there. It looked like it almost clipped G, but G was able to blink out before any sort of damage came through.
I feel like even if they get the Wombo combo off, assuming they don't actually use Ravage or Doom or something like that, then VP would just walk back up and just game anyway. So it's so difficult for them right now. Maybe some sort of they're getting a little bit of a push inside their base right now. That's kind of impressive, right? That's new territory for them. Planting some flags, trying to reclaim their lands.
Like, wow.
In the middle of cobwebs.
What is all this out here outside the base? It's a crazy world out there. Vega, as they just kind of barely walk into the sunlight, Virtus.Pro have already moved on to their next objective. That Age is now going to be snagged up. Aloha Dance will take it. And quickly Virtus.Pro smoke and move their way towards this mid lane for the game 1 closeout. A big guy here could do it. There's the Abyssal. Aloha Dance is stalking FN, and now they're going to make their move, and there is no chance of his survival. He's out for a minute. Does have the buyback, and does need to use it, it looks like. If Virtus.Pro make this push happen, which I think they will, it looks like Vega's ultimate defense is going to be coming sooner than they expected.
Yeah, maybe these 10-second PKs will be enough for a big hold here. As long as they can pop those things off, not allow FNG to interrupt their damage that they want to be throwing inside that Chronosphere, assuming he's not caught up inside. Be some sort of a play there for them, but pressure is definitely felt here by Vega.
Oh, I like this. Very ballsy play to get that Lion out, but that's still not going to be enough.
That's not
he gets
a good
healed
sign.
up, forced out from trouble, and this could be a bad start now for Vega. Mag tries to make his approach down the mid lane. He quickly goes down. No chrono for use. They're out for 50 seconds. No buyback, and this game will quickly be over. G is just dive-balling into the base right now under the throne. Yoku with the follow-up Ravage. They look to crack the egg. They will be able to get it. They do lose G as a gem hits the deck. They are going to be able to finish off the rest, and Vega are forced into throwing in the towel. Game number 1 of this best of 5 goes to Virtus.Pro.
Well, I haven't seen a 5th pick Brood Mother in a while. We kind of talked about that yesterday too, where we were talking about all these heroes people want to be banning out in that 4th phase. Some very annoying ones lately. We've got our Life Stealers tanking down all these tankier heroes of the feast and everything else. So Brood Mother, she tends to go in waves, right? A little bit of trendiness, she gets forgotten about, and then suddenly she gets popped back in, kind of like our IO and everything like that. So I don't think that was the only thing that won the game. Again, I do just think it helps accelerate and helps, we know VP are very good at pulling people across the map.